Episode 16, Sister-in-law's mighty and dominating. I really want to abduct him home. After removing the data cable, Lu Jingli couldn't hear what Ningxi was saying, but he assumed that she was calling Lu Tingxiao to ask him to come back. Hearing his elder brother's indifferent response, Lu Jingli was instantly heartbroken. He thought, why didn't even Ningxi's intervention work? Is it my destiny to die? Ningxi's voice grew even softer, but if I take little treasure by myself, I'll be unsure, and what if something unexpected happens? Little treasure definitely wants you to be there too. Please come back, alright? Please? Lu Tingxiao remained silent for 3 seconds and then spoke, alright, I'll come back. Lu Jingli was momentarily dumbfounded, but then he felt like he was basking in glory and about to ascend to the heavens. Sister-in-law, you're amazing and powerful. He knew she could do it. He thought his brother was quite stubborn, but it turned out he was just being aloof for a moment. After hanging up the call, Lu Tingxiao said 2 words, meeting adjourned. Everyone below looked at each other, unable to believe they had escaped a calamity. Lu Jingli proudly thought, thank me, please. I brought the savior. Only I get to hug my future sister-in-law's thigh. You can forget about it. As the meeting ended, Lu Jingli was surrounded. Second young master, did we mishear something? Did a woman really call Lu CEO? Who was that on the phone? To think that she could call Lu CEO and pull him away from the meeting. Exactly. Did Lu CEO find someone new? Who is this mysterious lady? Second young master, tell us. Lu Jingli stared at them suspiciously. What are you all asking me for? What's your agenda? Trying to cling to someone important? Forget it. My future sister-in-law's thigh is for me alone. Don't even think about it. The others thought, can't we at least hold on to her little toe? In a corner of the film and television city, Ningxi hung up her phone with a sense of relief. It was finally settled. Everything should be fine now, right? She had selflessly come to the rescue of something that had nothing to do with her. Just as she was about to leave, her phone rang again. It was Lu Jingli calling. Second young master, what's wrong now? Is it still not working? No, Shaoxi, your plan was brilliant. It perfectly resolved the crisis. Ningxi was speechless when she heard him. What plan are you talking about? I clearly used the lure the tiger away from the mountain plan. Don't twist it. Oh, I get it. Anyway, I'm hanging up now. I'll treat you to dinner when I have the chance. Ningxi looked at her phone, wondering if he really understood. Miss Ning, why are you hiding here? Let's go for dinner. Jiong had appeared without her noticing. Ningxi nervously looked around to ensure that no one had seen him approach her. She then leaned against a large red palace column and said, you guys go ahead. I have something important to do tonight, and I probably won't be able to make it. What? Jiong Mai's face immediately darkened. This is my welcoming banquet, and I'm your CP. You're not coming? Ningxi massaged her temples and replied, I know, and I'm really sorry about this, but I have something very important tonight. Can we arrange to meet separately next time? No. Jiong Mai remained unmoved by her words. He looked at her with a fierce expression and demanded, what's so important that you can't come tonight? Who are you going to meet? Ningxi's tone grew serious. I don't see how my plans for the night are any of your business. As soon as she finished speaking, Jiong Mai's expression instantly turned ugly. You're going to meet Lu Tingxiao, aren't you? Jiong Mai's interrogative tone made Ningxi frown in discomfort. So what if I am? So what if I'm not? Jiong Mai paced around restlessly, then fixed his gaze on her and said, Ningxi, you're really playing with fire. You dare to mess with even Lu Tingxiao? Are you not afraid of getting burned? I'm willing to play with fire. What's it to you? Ningxi's attitude turned sour because of Jiong Mai's tone. You? Jiong Mai was about to lose his temper but restrained himself. He clenched his fist and pounded it against the pillar behind her. Ningxi, I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm genuinely concerned. Otherwise, you won't even know how you'll end up later. Do you know who Lu Tingxiao is? Do you think he's like those reckless playboys you used to hang out with? Ningxi gave him a sidelong glance. Do you take me for a fool? Of course I know. Then if you know. Jiong Mai's anger gradually subsided as he realized that Ningxi couldn't possibly be foolish enough to do such a thing. He took a deep breath and asked, can you tell me what happened? Ningxi, too, found her argument with Jiong Mai childish. She had been overwhelmed by what he'd been through today, and her mood had soured. So, she explained calmly, I saved little treasure. Jiong Mai looked surprised. You saved Little Treasure? What happened to him? Over half a month ago, Little Treasure was taken to a bar by Lu Jingli. He accidentally ended up hiding in a warehouse to escape the noisy crowd and was unknowingly locked in by the staff. Jiang Mai's lips twitched. Taking Little Treasure to a bar? That sounds like something my unreliable second uncle would do. Then what? What does this have to do with you? At the time, I was preparing for my audition for Tianxia. Chongli locked me in that warehouse to stop me from auditioning. Ningxi explained briefly and recounted what had happened afterward. Jiang Mai listened patiently and then said, "All right, I understand. So you got to know Lu Tingxiao because you saved Little Treasure. In that case, Lu's family probably gave you a sum of money as a thank you, and that's it. Game over, and you both go your separate ways. Why are you still in contact with Lu Tingxiao and living at his place?" Ningxi omitted the part where Lu Tingxiao had suggested offering herself in exchange for helping her with the audition and said, "Because Little Treasure was traumatized, he relied on me a lot. Lu Tingxiao asked me to stay at their place until Little Treasure stabilizes his emotions. I'm there to calm him down at any time. Understand?" Hearing this, Jiang Mai's angry expression finally relaxed. Although he still felt somewhat disgusted, he muttered, "Are you sure it's just for this? Many women dream of marrying into a wealthy family. Right now, you have the upper hand, and it's easy to get carried away. You don't have any ulterior motives, do you?" Ningxi raised an eyebrow and said slyly, "If you're talking about having ulterior motives, I do have one toward Little Treasure. He's just too cute. I really want to abduct him and make him my little lover." Jiang Mai looked at her in silence, then rubbed his forehead and said, "In any case, you'd better not have any inappropriate thoughts. The upper echelons are not what you imagine them to be." Ningxi's tone turned cold as she sneered, "Do you even know what I imagine when it comes to wealthy families?" She despised those high society circles with their false facades, where everyone wore masks of deceit. After finally leaving the Ning family, how could she willingly jump into another fiery pit? Seeing Ningxi's disgusted expression, Jiang Mai let out a sigh of relief. He knew Ningxi well and understood that she despised being restrained. For Ningxi, families like the Lu family were probably as terrifying as a den of lions. "All right, you've finished asking, can it be my turn to ask now?" Ningxi crossed her arms and stared at him. Jiang Mai shrugged. "What do you want to ask?" "Ningxi, he's not the only brother, he has no siblings, right? Where does the nephew come from?" Ningxi inquired. Jiang Mai lit a cigarette and slowly explained, "I have no blood ties with the Lu family. My grandparents were close friends with the Lu family. They died in a car accident when my mom was very young, so the Lu family adopted my mom, officially making her their daughter. So, according to seniority, I have to address Lu Tingxiao as uncle." "I see," Ningxi said with a displeased glance at him. "And what about quitting smoking? Don't tempt me." "Why should I quit smoking? Did you need a reason to quit a bad habit?" Jiang Mai retorted. "Back then, didn't someone tell me that if there's wine today, we drink, if there's a cigarette today, we smoke, and people who quit drinking and smoking are idiots?" Jiang Mai complained while putting out his cigarette. "I can tell you everything you want to know. Do you have any more questions?" "Of course." Ningxi clenched her teeth and glared at him. "You better tell me honestly, why did you take on the role of Sun Huanqing? It's not just a supporting male role, it's completely different from the roles you usually take." In her words, this guy was clearly messing with her. Jiang Mai looked innocent. "What's wrong with taking on a supporting male role? Who says I can't? What's wrong with playing Sun Huanqing? I wanted to try something different, challenge myself. Isn't it boring to always stick to one style? Didn't I perform well today? You enjoyed teasing me, right? What's enjoyable about you?" Ningxi muttered under her breath. "At the latest, by tomorrow, I'll be in tears." "All right, I won't argue with you anymore. I have to go. I promised Little Treasure that I'd take him out for hot pot tonight." Ningxi quickly checked the time on her phone. Jiang Mai looked displeased. "Will my uncle be coming along too?" "Of course he's coming along. I can't take Little Treasure out on my own. What if something happens? Little Treasure is like the apple of the Lu family's eye, especially the older generations. If something goes wrong, they might bury me alive. Why do you have to take on this hot potato?" Ningxi said. Jiang Mai couldn't help but feel annoyed. "Do you know? Little Treasure is the apple of the Lu family's eye, especially the elder generation. If anything goes wrong, they might bury you alive. Why did you have to take on this hot potato?" Ningxi became impatient. What nonsense are you spouting? What hot potato? My little treasure is so adorable. Jiong Mai sneered, I think you've been enchanted by someone's charm. They just asked, and you forgot everything. Ningxi gave him an exasperated look. Alright, enough of this. Stop bickering, alright? Would you dare to refuse a request from Lord Lu? Look at how scared you are. Are you so afraid I'll become your aunt? Aunt. Jiong Mai was successfully triggered by the word aunt and couldn't say anything further. Good. Ningxi patted a certain someone's head, took advantage of him, and then skipped away. After picking up her bag and explaining to the director and the others that she couldn't attend the event because she had something to do, Ningxi left. As she watched the girl's hasty departure, Jiong Mai's face hardened. After work, Jia Qingqing finally found an opportunity to be attentive. To make it even more perfect, Ningxi wasn't around, so she approached Jiong Mai with a shy look on her face. Mai, where shall we eat? How about going to the 100 Rivers Grand Hotel for seafood? My dad is a member there, and we can go straight to a VIP room. Jiong Mai stretched lazily and said, let's not go. I'm too tired today. When Jia Qingqing heard this, she became anxious. Huh? But today is your first day on the set. You should at least have dinner. Jiong Mai's face darkened when he heard this. Who said you must eat on the first day? If you want to eat so badly, go by yourself. In fact, everyone knew that Jiong Mai had a bit of a temper. When he was in a good mood, his temper was good, but when he was in a bad mood, well. And now, this little brat was clearly in a bad mood. Jia Qingqing was scolded, and her eyes welled up. I just thought it's a matter of courtesy, why do you have to say it like that, my gidge? Who the hell is your my gidge? Jiong Mai was starting to get frustrated and was about to explode. However, Guo Qixing, who was next to him, saw that the situation was turning sour and intervened in time. He tried to smooth things over by saying, let's change it to another day. Mai did have a tiring day today. Originally, on the first day, he should have had some rest and familiarized himself with the environment. We didn't expect to shoot several scenes in a row. Let's all go home early and rest today. We can have a meal together another time. Alright. With a way out, Jia Qingqing reluctantly nodded. At the same time, she held a grudge against Ningxi for making Jiong Mai so tired that he didn't even want to eat anymore. Jia Qingqing buried her head and maliciously flipped through a few photos on her phone, her mouth curling into a sinister smile. Ningxi, just wait and see. I will make you pay for this. At the Lu residence. Darling, I'm back. As soon as she returned home, Ningxi's exhaustion from the day disappeared. Little Treasure rushed over upon hearing her voice, holding a glass of cold juice in his hand. Darling, you're so considerate. I love you. Ningxi took the glass and gulped down the juice, then happily said, come on, Auntie will take you to change into some cute clothes. We're going out for hot pot later. Little Treasure obediently let Auntie lead him up to the loft, as usual. In the bedroom, he allowed her to try on clothes for him one by one. This one's too plain, this one's too dark, this one's too dull. Goodness. Who bought you these clothes? What kind of taste is this? There's no need to ask, it's definitely your dad. Did he forget that you're only 5 years old and not 35? Ningxi criticized the clothes as she searched through the closet. Finally, at the bottom, she found a piece she was satisfied with. Wow. This one is cute. It was a white short-sleeved shirt with a hood that had 2 long bunny ears. It was paired with overalls that had a big pocket, just like Doraemon. Look at this style, this must have been bought by your second uncle. He's relatively sensible about kids' clothing. Children should wear cute and lively clothes. Ningxi nodded approvingly to herself. Then she asked, Sweetie, how do you like this outfit? If you don't like it, Auntie can find something else for you. Ningxi always sought Little Treasure's opinion, even though he always agreed with her choice. As expected, Little Treasure immediately nodded without hesitation. So Ningxi happily helped Little Treasure change into the clothes. After helping Little Treasure change into his outfit, Ningxi went into her room to change as well. It was quite a coincidence that she had a similar outfit to Little Treasure's, so she put it on. When Ningxi came out in her new outfit, Little Treasure's eyes lit up. He looked at her, then at himself, his little face filled with happiness and contentment. He even reached out to touch the bunny ears on her hat, clearly delighted to be wearing matching outfits with Auntie. Once they were both ready, they heard the sound of a car engine outside. Lu Tingxiao had returned. The temperature outside was over 30 degrees Celsius, but Lu Tingxiao seemed as if he had come from an icy glacier. He walked into the living room with his long legs, looking cool and composed. When his gaze landed on the two people on the sofa, both dressed similarly and looking like a mother and son, his cold eyes softened. Little Treasure looked incredibly adorable in his outfit, and as for Ningxi, her cute bunny ears and age-reversing overalls made her look even younger. Sitting side by side, they looked like siblings. Upon seeing Lu Tingxiao return, Ningxi immediately stood up with Little Treasure. "We're both ready. Can we go now?" Lu Tingxiao nodded and his gaze lingered on the girl for a few seconds before he looked away. "Let's go." In the car, Ningxi excitedly asked, "Hey, Lu Tingxiao, do you think Little Treasure and I look cute in these clothes? It took me a while to find this outfit." "Cute," Lu Tingxiao replied, but he was looking at the girl through the rearview mirror. Ningxi was pleased. "I knew it. We should buy more cute clothes for Little Treasure in the future." Lu Tingxiao agreed and took out a black card from his pocket, handing it to her. What's this for?" Ningxi blinked and looked at the legendary unlimited black card, which she had only seen once before. Lu Tingxiao said, "Shopping." Ningxi was taken aback. Wasn't he a bit too straightforward with money? Oh well, since he had given it to her, she'd use it to buy more nice clothes for Little Treasure. When they arrived at the restaurant, Lu Tingxiao got out of the car first, then gallantly opened the car doors for the two of them. He looked at Ningxi and asked, "Are you okay?" After spending time with Lu Tingxiao, Ningxi had gradually become accustomed to his concise way of speaking. She knew that he was asking if she was comfortable being seen in public like this. Ningxi scratched her head. "Should be fine. Not many people recognize me now, and I'm dressed like this." With that, she took out a pair of amber round glasses without lenses from her bag. "This should help." Lu Tingxiao nodded. The three of them walked into the hot pot restaurant together. Ningxi's self-assessment had been correct, no one recognized her. However, she had forgotten about Little Treasure and Lu Tingxiao. Father and son were indeed quite eye-catching, especially when they stood together. They attracted everyone's attention. Ningxi also stood out today because of her matching outfit with Little Treasure. "Oh, look at that father and son over there, their looks are so high. The older one is handsome, and the younger one is cute. The sister next to them is also so pretty. Is the dad taking the siblings out? Where's the mom?" Upon hearing this, Lu Tingxiao's face visibly darkened. Luckily, the man next to the woman spoke up, "What, father and son? It's obviously a family of three. The girl is clearly the man's wife and the child's mother." "Really? But the girl looks so young." "What do you know? It's just a case of an older man with a younger woman. Look at the way the man looks at the girl. It's clear he's looking at his wife."